Our fourth honorary degree recipient will be introduced by Maxine Engel. Max, as she is known by her teammates on our women's basketball team, earned a scholarship and went on to serve as captain of the team in both her junior and senior seasons. Graduating today with a double major in public health and business and a minor in law and society, she has been a vocal advocate for the Fair Play for Women Act and served our community through Grassroots Health, a nonprofit that teaches middle school youth about healthy living. Her connection to our commencement speaker goes beyond basketball. Both are leaders in society through the platform athletics has given them. Max.
President Granberg, I am honored to present to you Jonquel Jones, Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa.
Jonquel Jones is one of the most accomplished and versatile athletes in professional basketball, demonstrating excellence, leadership, and resilience in her performance and principles. A 2019 graduate of the George Washington University with a Bachelor of Arts, she rose to international prominence through her stellar career in the WNBA and abroad. After being drafted in 2016, Ms. Jones quickly became a dominant force for the Connecticut Sun and later for the New York Liberty, where she became a WNBA final champion. She has earned 5 WNBA All-Star selections, the 2021 WNBA Most Valuable Player Award, and the 2024 WNBA Finals MVP honor. Known for her versatility, rebounding prowess, and defensive skill, she is the only player in WNBA history to earn the league's MVP, 6th Woman of the Year, and Most Improved Player awards. Ms. Jones has also distinguished herself in professional leagues across Asia and Europe and has represented Bosnia and Herzegovina in international competition. Off the court, Ms. Jones is a vocal advocate for social justice, mental health awareness, and LGBTQ+ visibility in sports. She has used her platform to showcase her commitment to leadership, inclusivity, and service, and is a role model for young athletes around the world. Ms. Jones was named one of USA Today's Women of the Year for 2025 in tribute to both her athletic achievements and her humanity. Ms. Jones' deep ties to the George Washington University stem from her achievements as a student athlete, where she earned Atlantic 10 Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year honors and earned a spot in GW's Athletic Hall of Fame. She led the Revolutionaries to new heights, including 2 NCAA tournament appearances. The George Washington University is extremely proud to count Ms. Jones among its alumni and to honor her extraordinary achievements as an athlete, leader, and global citizen. Jonquel Jones, in recognition of all the foregoing and by virtue of the authority granted to me by the Congress of the United States of America, vested in the Board of Trustees of the George Washington University, I hereby confer on you the degree of Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa, and declare you fully entitled to all of its rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our commencement speaker, Dr. Jonquel Jones.
One second, guys. Hello, GW and the class of 2025. It is so great to be welcomed back as part of the GW family. Let me start by saying congratulations. What you've accomplished is significant and deserves to be celebrated. Today is your day. Soak it in. I am truly honored to be here today to celebrate this incredible moment with you. To President Granberg, the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, families, and most importantly, you, the graduates, thank you for letting me be part of today. And to all of those who have helped you reach this moment, the parents who made countless sacrifices, the professors who challenged you, the friends who stayed up late helping you study or were there to pick you up after you bombed your first freshman year exam, this is your win too. 9 years ago, I too was in Foggy Bottom, filled with pride, anxious to begin the next chapter, and unsure about my future. I was packing up my dorm in Guthridge Hall, saying goodbye to daily practices at the Smith Center, and making my last weekend run to the GW Deli. Do they still pack the mountain of bacon on the bacon, egg, and cheeses? Some things never change. 9 years later, with the WNBA championship, a regular season MVP title, a finals MVP title, and the honor of being named USA Today's Woman of the Year, it would be easy for me to tell you to go for it, to chase your dream, and it'll all work out. At least those are the standard platitudes on an occasion like this. But the truth is, success is rarely simple. And while it may sound cliche, it really is the journey that makes it all worth it. That's where life happens, where you find out who you are, find the people who believe in you, and where you will learn lessons that will carry you through your successes and failures. My journey started in the Bahamas, where I was just a kid with a dream and no real roadmap. Until someone took a chance on me. Coach Diane Richardson, or Coach Rich as she is affectionately known, saw my athleticism and potential and sponsored me so that I could play in the United States. She took a chance on me when no one else would. She saw the potential that was fostered by my coaches in the Bahamas and gave me an environment to succeed at the highest level. That doesn't mean she took mercy on me. For Coach Rich, greatness was the floor and not the ceiling. She instilled in me a work ethic that has led me to where I am today. The same work ethic that my coaches in the Bahamas ingrained in me and that I learned from watching my parents. Coach Rich's belief in me brought me to Clemson, where I was part of a top-ranked recruiting class. Every athlete was a 4-star recruit or better. The hype was real, the expectations were high, and all eyes were on us. But something didn't feel right. My gut instincts were impossible to ignore, and pretty soon I found myself transferring to GW, reuniting with Coach Rich, who had recently taken on an assistant role with the team. That is lesson number 1. As you begin this journey, remember, trust your gut, always. Transferring to GW was a gut decision, a deep, instinctive pull that I felt long before I ever acted on it. And to be honest with you, I didn't listen to that feeling right away. I tried to push it down and convinced myself that honoring my initial commitment meant doing what was expected of me. I told myself that walking away from what I knew meant I was giving up and not growing. But your gut doesn't lie. It whispers, then it nudges, and eventually it shouts. And my decision to transfer to GW changed everything. At GW, I grew as an athlete and as a person. Not only did our team win championships, but I earned 2 All-American honors, became the 3rd player in GW's history to score over 1,000 points, grab 800 rebounds, and record 100 blocks. I met lifelong... I met lifelong friends, and I learned more about myself than I ever thought was possible. Making that decision to leave for GW, to trust my gut, taught me that the voice inside you is not just noise. It is wisdom. It's your truth, buried beneath fear and the pressure to please others. I know when I say trust your instincts, it can sound vague. But here's what I've learned. The voice is often the only compass you'll have. There's no map for life. When the choices aren't clear and the stakes are high, no one can make the call for you. And I promise you, those moments will come. They may come when you're deciding between job offers, or when you're brave enough to walk away from something that looks great on paper, but doesn't feel right in your spirit. They may come when you're the only one in the room who has a different vision, or when you're building something no one else believes in yet. Those are the moments when listening to your gut is going to matter most. So when the time comes, and it will, when you have to take a risk, make a move, stand your ground, or listen to that inner voice, you know more than you give yourself credit for. You've been preparing for these moments. And if something is telling you, this is it, lean in. Trust that feeling, because your instincts, your spirit, your gut, that is where your power lives. Now, it won't always be easy. There will be times when you feel out of place, when you're struggling to make things work, no matter how much time you've put in. Which brings me to lesson number 2. You can have the right tools to be successful, but you also need the right opportunity and the right people by your side. When I was first drafted into the WNBA, I had everything you might expect from a rising star. Talent, drive, grit, and a deep desire to compete at the highest level. I was focused, disciplined, and hungry. But here's what no one tells you when you're chasing a dream. You can have all the right tools, the work ethic, the skills, the mindset, and still feel stuck. Because success isn't just about what you bring to the table, it's also about the environment around you that allows you to thrive. In those early years, I gave everything I had. I was a strong team player, constantly working to elevate not just my game, but the people around me. But I knew I couldn't reach my full potential alone. I needed a support system of people who believed in me and leadership that brought the same championship mentality that I did. Fast forward to 2023, when I decided to request a trade to New York. It was a bold decision, and it came from a place of clarity. I saw something in New York I hadn't seen before: alignment, a shared vision, a team built for lasting success. It felt like when I transferred to GW, except this time, I had the wisdom to trust my instincts. From the front office to the locker room, the energy was different. And the difference started at the top. Our owner, Clara Wusai, believes that if you treat women athletes like world-class competitors, they'll deliver world-class results. And she was right. It seemed crazy to some, but I'm also just a little bit crazy. And seeing someone who wanted to invest in what had become my world was meaningful. That belief, along with the infrastructure, investment, it changed the game for me. I didn't suddenly become a better player overnight, but I was finally in an environment that gave me room to be great. That kind of support turns potential into performance. It turns individual ambition into team victory. Here's what I want you to know. Surround yourself with people who see where you want to go and want to help you get there. People who don't just applaud your ambition, but actively invest in it. Prestige is nice, but alignment is everything. As you launch into your careers, whether you're going into politics, business, medicine, sports, don't just chase titles or big names. Ask yourself if the place will allow you to grow, if those people will help you become the best version of yourself. Bet on the environments that bet on you, because success isn't just about the tools you carry, but where you go and use them. Now let's say you've trusted your gut, you found the perfect opportunity, you're working hard, and you're thriving. This brings me to lesson number 3. As hard as you work, make time to enjoy life. Everyone here today, and everyone who has gone to GW, is competitive and works hard. There is no doubt in my mind that you are all destined for greatness. But the moments that have meant the most to me, the ones I carry with me to this day, didn't just happen on the court or in the gym or even in the classroom. They happened in the quiet in-between moments. They were filled with pure joy. I remember late nights in Guthridge, laughing until our stomachs hurt, cramming for exams we maybe should have studied for a little bit earlier. I remember making beats on the walls of elevators and dancing with my teammates, and no one cared who was watching. I remember cherry blossom season, spending afternoons in Kogan, and walking across campus just to feel that energy that only a place like GW can give, this mix of ambition and passion, and a feeling that the world was at our fingertips. I remember standing at the top steps of Gelman, catching my breath after a long night of practice, then studying, then more practice, and realizing that this was part of it too. I, like many of you, am guilty of glorifying the grind. And don't get me wrong, I believe in it. I wouldn't be standing here if I didn't. But I've learned that joy is not a reward that comes after the hard work is done. It comes in the doing, in the journey along the way. It's the fuel that keeps you going, the laughter, the friendships, the freedom to just be. Those are not distractions, they are essential. And those people who are closest to you, the friends you've made along the way, the people sitting next to you today, they are your team. You will have them forever. I still cherish my GW teammates. When they found out I'd be speaking with you today, they were excited and proud of me. They cheered me on when I was drafted. They celebrated my wins, cried with me during my losses, and remind me of what this crazy life is all about. And I still remember the staff at GW who supported me, some who still work here today. Even when you're gone, even when you're living in a new city, you will always have these moments. As you leave here and begin your next chapter, find those people who are willing to take a chance on you, who will cherish you beyond your own limits, the people who will lift you up, support you in your pursuit of greatness, and celebrate your wins. If you're lucky, you'll even find your own Coach Rich too. So here's what I'll tell you. Prioritize finding joy in the journey. Protect it, pursue it. Even when the grind gets real and the pressure is on, make sure you do that. Make time to look back at the 18-year-old you once were, who now looks on with pride. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Call the people who ground you and do the things that make you whole, not just successful. Maybe it's the Bahamian in me, always wanting to lean into special moments and the joy that life has to offer, but in those moments of joy, you will find the moments that you remember most. Don't wait until you've made it to give yourself permission to be happy. Let happiness and joy be part of who you are. Take it from me, someone who endured 3 championship losses before finally winning last year. If I had waited until that championship win, I would have missed 8 years of memories, friendships, and experiences that have helped define my journey. You all leave here today, not just with a degree, but with a responsibility. A GW education means something. Out there in the world, when people hear George Washington University, they expect excellence. But it's not just about your GPA or the title next to your name. It means civic engagement. It means bold ideas that shake up the world, service to others, and remembering the community that brought you where you are now. It means stepping into the world not just as professionals, but as people of integrity, people who understand that impact matters more than status, and that lifting others up is one of the greatest forms of leadership. It means you're ready to lead, not just with your minds, but with your values. And let me be real with you, your path might not be linear. It may not happen in the timeline you've envisioned. Mine sure didn't. There were moments when I questioned everything, and when it felt like everyone else was moving forward, and I was stuck waiting for the call, for the chance, and for the door to open. But hear me when I say this, a delay is not a denial. Sometimes a detour is the path. You may not understand the why in the moment, but keep showing up anyway. Keep trusting yourself. Keep putting in the work when no one is watching, because your moment will come. And when that door finally opens, I want you to walk through it like you were meant to be there all along. Every step you take, every stumble, every pivot, every breakthrough shapes the leader you're becoming. Now you are part of a legacy that spans politicians and change makers and activists and WNBA champions. You've walked the same path in U-Yard. You've had discussions in classrooms just blocks from the White House. You've pulled all-nighters, chased big dreams, and discovered who you are in the heart of a city that asks big things of you. So now it's time to write your next chapter. Congratulations, graduates. Go out there and own your journey with pride, with trust in yourself, and with that unmistakable GW grit. Thank you, and I'll be rooting for you every step of the way. Raise high.